What's up, traders? Welcome to another live stream with Edgeful. We got my two good friends here, Thomas and Randy. We're going to just walk through some trades. I think the whole Black Shirt Club, our private mentorship group, which Thomas and Randy are part of, have crushed the longs on ES, S&P 500 today. We're going to walk through a couple of Edgeful reports that we like. I've got a trade running at the moment in the opposite direction on YM. So we'll speak about that as well. But yeah, what's up, Randy? What's up, Thomas? Good to have you guys on.
How's it going?
What's up, James? Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Okay, cool. So
I got longs on right now.
Yeah. Let's speak about that right now. Let's get your chart up here, Thomas.
Yeah, share my screen. I got longs on right now. So we have a rule, I have a rule, 2 tries, same direction, same bias. And if I'm not feeling it, then I'm normally going to be wrong. And so you can see the live executions on the screen here. I had a long from New York VWAP and I had a 10-point stop. I did get taken out on this move down, and we held previous day VWAP. So using Edgeful, the white lines here are the IB, high and low. We know that we want to break one side of the initial balance about 80% of the time. Manny today actually pulled up the last 3 months. It's 90%. So that's giving me an extreme conviction in the long. So I did take the first loss. However, I was able to re-enter at previous day VWAP, which you can see has been a price that has already paid on the longs today. So I took the entry at 77, and I'm actually going to add in right here, right now, as we break high of day VWAP, which is a second entry signal for me. And then now what I'm going to do is, you can see I increase my risk quite a bit there. However, I can trail the stop up to that next level. So now we are in on the break of high of day VWAP, as well as the hold of the previous day New York, looking for just under high of day as the TP.
Brilliant. I like it. So I actually if I just pull up my screen again here, if I just pull this up over here, I actually took these longs on the S&P as well. Right off this is the 50-minute time frame on ES, S&P 500, depending on what, I'm trading as a CFD ticker. But excuse me, but literally off this black daily VWAP over here. And again, I think the nice thing is that we gapped up pre-market, okay, from Friday's sell-off. We pull back right into that daily VWAP, and that's where I get long on that. Now, no specific Edgeful kind of report that I use for that one, but kind of playing like my levels and where I'm actually looking to get long off of. So keeping it pretty simple. Randy, you currently long as well, if I'm not mistaken, Randy?
Correct.
Okay, let's bring up your charts. And yeah, Thomas, you got the Edgeful stat up there. We'll speak about that now. But yeah, Randy, what kind of were you looking at today in terms of any trades? You're currently long at the moment, but yeah, speak through it.
Yeah. So basically, my first trade was here. Let me I just deleted that. Let me clear that. My first trade, I took a long earlier this morning that I was sitting in for a little bit, and I got stopped out here.
Sure.
I was looking at, basically we had this hold of the opening range high, and then we had this bullish candle off it. So looking at NQ was quite bullish. I decided NQ had already taken out pre-market high, so I was looking at ES to push higher. Got in long, had my stop. Originally, I had my stop at the start of day VWAP, and as price pulled back down, there was a bunch of orders sitting just below at 75, which would have put us at previous day's VWAP on Bookmap. So I moved my stop down foolishly. I should have cut the trade here. If I was going to move my stop down, I should have moved it below, probably even a little bit more below the previous day VWAP, and you would have seen I still would have been alive. So that was my first loss. I took a full loss on that. And then I re-entered on this bullish candle off of the started day VWAP as we held previous day's VWAP, looking for kind of what Thomas is saying, looking for that double break.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, Thomas, bring up the stats actually, if you can.
Yeah, look at this. So this is the tweet. So this is the report. We break on, so this is on Mondays. Mondays, we break the initial balance one time, 92% of the time. So my trade, Randy's trade, we are trading with a 92% edge on Monday. So that's, that's a really strong edge. Yeah. And we also have NVIDIA with us. NVIDIA's rocking right now. It held New York VWAP really nicely and is continuing to push higher. So I'm just looking for another 6 points here.
Nice, brilliant. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. We're going to see obviously how we just broken that half day view. Let's actually bring up my screen again here. Let's just bring this up. So I'm actually, as mentioned, I've got a small position short on the Dow so US 30. I do like that we are trading now underneath the daily view app. We're going to see how we react here. If we don't respect this level here, we actually have been moving inversely today on the Dow. We're moving high on the NASDAQ and S&P, but coming down on the Dow. So I did like this for maybe continued sell-off here below previous day's lows as well. But basically the level that I was using on was this opening candle continuation. You can see in the last 3 months, if the first hour, basically what this measures is if the first hour is bullish or bearish, what do we get the rest of the day? We can actually see what I mean by inversely. You can actually see that the first hour on the Dow, YM, was actually bearish compared to the NASDAQ and the S&P. You can see the first hour here was bullish. So you'll be looking for longs with this report. You'd be looking for longs on the S&P and NASDAQ, while you'll be looking for shorts on the Dow. So a little bit of inverse correlation there, so that's my small position that I do have on the Dow. We'll see how it plays out. We are trading underneath daily view app, as mentioned in my notes over here. So we'll see how we react here. But I do like your positions a lot on the S&P 500. Kind of like a slow grind Monday as well. But just to mention that we do, if you come to the calendar here on Forex Factory, we do have USD news, CPI this week, as well as we got PPI news on Thursday. So CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday. You guys' thoughts on CPI weeks? Anything that you would give to the viewers?
Personally, I love trading CPI weeks because I find we have a nice trend in the week coming up to it. And then on CPI, we get that nice injection of volatility, liquidity in the market. You have to think about it as a day trader that there are big funds that are just initiating their positions after CPI. So we have a lot of new buyers and new sellers coming into the market that yields generally a pretty solid move on the Wednesday of CPI.
Sure. Nice. Yeah, I think obviously also after CPI could lead up to some nice potential players as well. Obviously after the data gets released and everything like that, although they do sometimes revise it, there could be some nice players after that too. So just note there. So we've spoken about a few in terms of some Edgeful reports. We've spoken about a few here today so far. We've spoken about my opening candle continuation play report. We've spoken about the initial balance one with Thomas. Is that kind of your favorite report as well with Edgeful, Thomas?
Yeah, and I just wanted to add one more thing about the opening range breakout, because if you go by months, you get a little bit more of a niche data set to what's going on in the market right now. And we know that the opening range is double broken 59% of the time, which for me is not that strong of an edge. So when we take into consideration 92% of the time, we're going to hold the initial balance. And then because here the initial bounce low is also opening range low. So if only 60% of the time we break the bottom, that actually gives me some confidence in my trade, knowing that it's not as high as 70 or 75%. So that's how I use the reports together to form a bias.
Nice. I like it. Randy, what are some of your favorite reports with Edgeful? I know you said that you do want to use them more often, but yeah, kind of like speak us through some of your favorites, Rand.
So originally I started with more of the opening range breakout. That was one of my favorites, but now I've been leaning more towards the initial balance. I just like letting that 60 minutes of the market open versus trying to get in. Like you can see this morning, we had a nice move, market open, but especially now I'm finding with, all the Trump stuff in the markets, you get these big pushes up and down that you get it's choppy in the beginning. So I like it to kind of shake out. And then that initial balance stat's probably my favorite right now.
Nice. Yeah, no, I think that initial balance is very, very nice. I actually, as you mentioned, I do like that, like first 60 minutes. Something interesting just to note from the two reports that we've spoken about today, my side, the opening candle continuation is also measured from you can customize it, but it's also measured from the first 60 minutes, same as what Thomas and Randy are speaking about now as well. I thought, obviously, it's kind of like my first stream that we are doing since we're coming back. I thought, Randy, you would like this one. I forgot to actually share it with you on today, but let's actually do this. Let's get my screen up here again, and then we can show this. So let's add that to stage. I think this is quite a cool. I got sent this by someone and said, "Trade like your son is watching you, and you're trying to teach him how to succeed." I thought that was quite cool because obviously
that's really good.
Yeah, I've just become a dad, and obviously Randy's got a son as well in Miles. So I thought that was quite a cool quote because now, like at the desk, I'm thinking to myself, like if Beckham was like 20 years old and I'm teaching him how to trade. What would I want him to do?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a, you know, like a self-motivation as well, because if you're going to do something that you wouldn't want him to do, you shouldn't be doing it, right?
No, that's a really good quote.
I'll send that through to you, Randy. But
I just took a screenshot of it.
Nice. I'll send that to you there, Randy. But yeah, otherwise, Thomas, what are some work-ons for you your side, bro? What are some work-ons for you your side this week?
Yeah, you know, work on for me this week is patience with my entries. And so last week, 2 days with this 2-try rule, I got stopped out on the first trade to the tick, and then it reversed to my take profit. And
Sure.
I noticed when I reviewed my trades that they were just a little early. You know, I could have been more patient with my entries. So that's the really big work on for me. And you know, I have on my XFA, I have 22 out of 30 green days needed to withdraw the whole balance. And so my plan is to just work it for the rest of the month and hopefully take 4 or 5K out of it and just clear out that whole balance at the end of the month.
Amazing, dude. Amazing. That's how long have you had those XFAs for with Top Step?
Yeah, this one I've actually had since September. However, I had 5 XFAs. So this one, like, I didn't trade this one that much. So it only has maybe 40 days traded on it. And a little more than half of that are green days.
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, many people are blowing that after like literally a week. So that's really, really kudos to you, dude. Okay, nice, Randy. Any work on your side, Randy? Anything with your trading this week? I know I was kind of off last week, but you were trading you had some nice like Trump plays, call it that, on his tweets that you would trade after he tweeted. So what are some work-ons for you this week, bro?
It's gonna be just I was saying it this morning earlier with Austin on stream. I'm trying the approach of having an aggressive XFA and then a conservative straight to funded Tradeify account. And so today I'm just trading the XFA. I took that loss. I was aggressive on my sizing a little bit, moving the stop. So I'm not just 100% sold on taking my Tradeify account. I'm trying to, and then we talked about, obviously, when I go to Thailand, I'm able to trade the DAX on that.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm saving it so me and Mr. Bruce can do some trading together. So
that's sweet, you know. How I've been watching the DAX when I come in on the morning to see how is it moving, because Linda Rashke on Twitter she often posts the DAX correlation with, you know, the way the S&P 500 moves. So sometimes that can be a little insight into what you can be expecting in your trading day.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm definitely interested for that. But no, just some since Dallas, my biggest work on has been patience. And just not rushing into a trade and just waiting and being patient. And the days that I'm patient pays off, and the days that I'm impatient, it shows on my calendar, right? It'll be my red day, or it'll be my tilt day. It'll be my biggest loss or something will be the days that I was impatient. So there's a direct correlation between being patient and being impatient.
And what does that mean for you, Randy, to be patient? Does that mean what does that mean, you know?
So today was one of those days where I would have traded the first break of the New York VWAP after after the initial balance set, the opening range set, but I just wasn't sold on it. So that was my patience of waiting, and then not obviously buying the move up. I obviously bought in at the high a day break, but I didn't before I would try and catch that move that was still going up. You had that move all the way up to take pre-market highs. Mm-hmm. And so just to stay out of that trade, even though today it would have worked, it probably more times than not wouldn't have worked for me. And it would have been a loss. It would have set me up. I was actually
marking up. Yep. I was marking up that short to midnight price from the New York VWAP.
That's exactly what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Midnight was so close. Why would we not take midnight before we push higher? Like, especially with ES couldn't even get above the New York.
Yeah. When I find I'm like thinking, I see both sides of the trade, that's when I really know I just need to sit out, be patient, because I think that's really the difference between predicting and reacting in trading.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. So just more or less, you know, if I can miss a trade in the, you know, when the opening range sets in, whether it works out or not, and then take a trade later in the day, and even the trade could be 10 minutes later and be happy with the outcome. That's for me, my patience, right?
Absolutely. And our trade's working out real nicely right now. If you
Yeah.
flip over to my screen, James.
Let's pull that up. There you go. Yeah.
So we
So
took high of day VWAP, and then we had a slight retracement back to the New York VWAP, and are continuing higher. And my first take profit is just right above the IB high. So let's see what
Brilliant.
happens here.
Yeah. So I got a level marked up, which is the value area high. I know you guys don't use a ton of volume profiling. It's something I'm still learning, so I don't speak a lot on it because I still am learning it, obviously. But if you look, I got 84.75, basically 85 marked off as the value area high, and you can see now the 2 previous attempts to get above it. If we can get a close above the 85.50, 86s, then I think
which might happen right now.
Yeah, right, and that's what I'm looking for to get that because right now that bullish candle pushed up to 84.75, and then the next candle open was at 84.70 at that value area high. So that level, I know that.
It.
Yeah, the volume area, the value area high and these point of control and value area lows, I see a lot of correlation, and I see price use those levels all the time. So it's something I'm using personally. I'm not trying to, have too much influence on it, but it's definitely something interesting to look at if you're interested in volume profile.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, just from a technical perspective, we just closed above these last lower highs, so that's again just good for our trade.
Yeah, I actually might. So I'm sitting in a little bit of drawdown on my Dow trade. So let me actually just bring mine up. I'm sitting on a little bit of drawdown. It feels trading underneath the daily view up. So as mentioned, the Dow sometimes can trade very inversely of the S&P. But I might actually be looking to get long actually as well. Yeah, it's kind of almost almost carbon copy of my previous trade. So we'll see what happens. How we close on the next maybe 5 minutes on this 15-minute bar, but it does look very, very nice as we speak at the moment. I agree with that. Just a slow Monday, not really much follow through like we have seen on other days. Obviously with CPI coming out on Wednesday as well. But yeah, I appreciate it. I think this has been good today, guys. I'm looking forward.
Yeah, a lot of value.
Yeah, and if you guys enjoy these, make sure to comment below, and then we will. I look forward to doing many more of these, obviously, with you guys.
100%.
Anytime.
Yeah. Okay, perfect, guys. So we'll see you on the next one. And appreciate you guys' time.
Yeah, great trading.
Cheers, guys.